Over 28,000 buildings have been demolished in Rafah, southern Gaza, not just by bombs or missiles, but by deliberate planning. And now, Israel is pushing a plan to relocate over 2 million Palestinians into that very same area. It's been called a humanitarian city, but experts, including Israelis, are calling it something else: a concentration zone and even a war crime in the making. Between April and July 2025, satellite data from UNOSAT shows that the number of demolished buildings in Rafah rose from 15,800 to 28,600. That's 13,000 buildings gone in just 3 months. This isn't just war damage. These demolitions are concentrated in specific neighborhoods, while certain structures like schools and clinics are left untouched. Why? Because those are the buildings that Israel reportedly plans to repurpose to house hundreds of thousands of Palestinians as part of its mass relocation plan. On July 8, Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, announced plans to move 600,000 Palestinians to the Al-Mawasi area in Rafah. That's just the beginning. Eventually, the entire Gaza population, more than 2 million people, will be pushed into this area. The plan is being coordinated through a US-backed group called the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, reportedly managed by private contractors and protected by Israeli forces. Documents suggest this area will serve as a humanitarian transit zone where Palestinians will live temporarily, be de-radicalized, and possibly relocated to other countries. This doesn't sound like aid, it sounds like population control. Rafah borders Egypt. It's Gaza's southernmost point and one of the few routes out of the territory. Israel wants to use the Morag Corridor, a strip of land just north of Rafah, to seal off this area. Once Palestinians are inside this safe zone, they can be isolated, monitored, and potentially expelled from Gaza entirely. The timing is strategic. Israel wants to use the 60-day ceasefire currently being discussed with the help of the US and Trump to finalize this relocation. This isn't just a theory. International legal experts, human rights groups, and even Israeli commentators are sounding the alarm. UNRWA chief Philip Lazzarini said the plan would create massive concentration camps at the Gaza-Egypt border. Israeli analyst Ori Goldberg didn't mince words. He called it a concentration camp plan. And journalist Gideon Levy said flatly, the endgame is ethnic cleansing. Adding to the concern, access to food and humanitarian aid is now controlled almost entirely by GHF, and people are being killed just trying to get food. On June 16, Israeli forces opened fire near a distribution center in Rafah, killing 20 people waiting for aid. At the same time, over 1.9 million people remain displaced in Gaza. Some shelters are housing 4 times their intended capacity. This is no longer a humanitarian response. It's a form of pressure and control. This situation isn't just about Gaza. It's about setting a precedent. If one country can forcibly move an entire population under the label of humanitarian aid, what's stopping others from doing the same? We are watching a moment in history that could define international law or break it. The world can afford to stay silent.